Hello, beauties. I am so glad to be here with you again. Welcoming Kristen, who just joined the group. Excited to talk about what I've just been doing and where I've been. I was in New York yesterday, all day long, with Esther Perel. She is probably the most preeminent woman, therapist generally, all over the world, talking about Eros, sexuality, intimacy, and the challenges of living that kind of an intimate life that we want in a world that is really predisposed to keeping us from that space. You know, she talks a lot, and I talk a lot, about how crazy it is to be in a world that it's not about feeling, it's not about our bodies, it's mostly about achieving and accomplishing. And we live in that space of rewarding anyone who lives in their head. That's really where we find the greatest salaries. The more we learn, the more we study, the more we have that sort of, we lead with that in the world. That's really where we're rewarded with financial success, fame, all of that. So, but I watch the way women, and I mostly work with women and couples, I watch how again and again women lose that spark, lose that eros, because we're just out there working so hard. And we finally have those opportunities. We can lead with our brilliant brains, which of course I love to use my brilliant brain. It's so amazing to have these opportunities, but eros gets lost. And I think that was what attracted me most to this year's conference that it's called Sessions Live 2019. This is my third year going. Every time she brings wisdom, she brings excitement, she brings sort of her person, not just a sort of a picture or an image of this person who's there, famous. She said she was in Mexico last week and Romania the week before, and I can't remember where. She travels all over. Her work is brilliant. Her counseling is brilliant. And she also has she has a podcast called Where Do We Begin? About working with clients. You really hear her working with clients and hear her acknowledging her mistakes, which I love. I love that real energy that she brings. Her first book, Mating in Captivity, caught my attention 10 years ago when I was really working in a marriage situation that I was struggling. I couldn't find that eros in myself. I had looked, David and I had explored Tantra. We'd explored many other ways to help bring that aliveness. And as I was growing, I was really struggling with that piece, because what Esther says and what I see again and again is that we think of intimacy as sex, and we think that if we improve the relationship, that's sort of how we improve our sexuality, which sometimes works, and sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes there's something deeper. With most of my clients, I see that this is not about positions in sex, although it's fun to play with that. It's not even about what he said, she said, the dialogue back and forth. It's really about this place of the elusiveness of eros. Hey, Ashley, great to see you. The elusiveness of eros, the way we become connected to our partners in this love relationship, but that in that space, often there's not enough air, there's not enough openness to allow also eroticism. So we get, love wants us to be really, really close, and eros, that excitement, needs a little bit of space. You probably have seen this. I've watched with the man I'm with now, when we're together, we just came back from 2 weeks in Provence, which was absolutely extraordinary. I have some gorgeous pictures on Facebook if you want to see. Just a beautiful time. We had such a fabulous connection. Our intimacy on a heart level and on a deep emotional level was so strong that we found that our intimacy on a sexual level sort of it didn't come up as much. When I only see him once a week for 24 hours, it's pretty hot. So Esther talks about this a lot, that we, in our relationships, we need to find a way to bring together both the connectedness and the love and the real honesty and deep intention, and activate more fantasy, more imagination, more creativity, more ways of keeping that spark alive. That's an exciting realm, and that's part of what she was talking about in this retreat. She was also, and each of the people that spoke, I'll show you my notebook that we got, and the program. She had, of course she spoke, but she had many of the people that she goes to for sexual issues, for the people that really are bringing such exciting work to the world. Holly Richmond, who works with people who've had traumatic experiences. Don Sheehy, who really brought in the aspect of working with gay men and a different perspective on porn than I had ever heard. How it's actually possibly helpful and healthy for gay men because they find a place where actually they belong. And it's evidently less violent than hetero porn. So, surprise, that was such an interesting experience for me to listen to that. Fascinating young African-American women, Rafaela Fiallo and Dechalia Sa, who were speaking about the work that I do similarly, really speaking about what it is to be our sensual beings, that we lose that sense of sensuality, we lose the connection to our bodies when we're so connected to our heads and our brains, and when we lead with that. One of those, I think it was Deshala, was saying she quit her job and decided she was going to follow what made her feel good, what she enjoyed in her body. Now, that would be an amazing experience. Even she really suggested, and it's what I often suggest to my clients, that you find one thing that you really love, that you love the sense experience of. Hey, Catherine and Bunny, good to see you both. To find something, and I'd recommend you do this today, to find something that you love feeling. It could be, I put on this cashmere sweater today against my skin, which feels so delicious. I wouldn't have picked this color, but I wanted to feel the way it felt against me on a cold day. Looking for something, the sounds you want to hear, the tastes you want to taste. To make that a priority instead of the list, I have my list right here that I'll attack after this, but to look for things that really please your senses. That's one step of inviting Eros to come toward you, because Eros doesn't live in the mind, except in imagination. Eros lives in the body. Eros lives in living the sense experience that ignites us, that makes us feel good, that makes us feel that we're here. And then balancing that with these deep connections that we really want to have. You know, intimacy is both. It's living in the senses and it's living in this deep connection. When I talk about divining beauty, I've talked again and again about that it's really about cultivating deep intimacy with self, others, and the world. Each of those aspects, without each of those, there's a place of barrenness. So this deep intimacy with self is really what feels good, what ignites your delight, what makes you feel like you can live your life, what makes you feel like you can really enjoy where you are. And then deep connection with others, looking at what brings liveliness, what brings vitality. Often it's curiosity. It's not necessarily feeling safe and secure in a relationship. That's a comfort, but you have to have that balance of what brings vitality and excitement. Something a little different, a different position perhaps, but maybe more a different way of thinking, a different way of imagining your relationship, a different way of creating excitement through any kind of story in your head, role play, any ways that you can jump out of that ordinary, normal role. If you're single, I would really invite you to look for ways you can bring that deep connection to your body alive. That's Eros with yourself. So for sure, playing in the bedroom with yourself. This doesn't have to be a duo act, but enjoying your body in any way you can. I've just taken this luscious shower this morning, and I love standing under the hot water pouring on my body. What can you do today to prioritize how you want to feel? Begin to think of that right now, and if you can put in some message here, click and send me something. Like, what can you do that would bring you, your body, your senses alive? This is Sunday. I'm looking out at a relatively barren landscape out my window. So I'm going to be watching for the bright colors that are still left on the trees today. As I drive, I'm going up to Carpalo. I'm presenting this week. Super excited. But I'm also looking all the way for things that can delight me, delight my senses, delight my eyes, delight my ears, delight my tastes and touches and smells. Living in that place of alive energy then brings me more connection with myself and then more connection with others. So I love that you all are here. I love that you're making messages and just listening. I'd love to know what questions you have, what you'd like to know more about, what you'd be curious about hearing. I will probably be here either Sundays or Wednesdays. I'm sort of bouncing back and forth to see where I have the most attention. So let me know what's best for you, and let me know what you'd really like to hear. I'm sort of tired of stopping, sort of being stuck in this place of feeling like I'm not able to bring all that I want to the world. I was ignited yesterday to this energy of just, I know what I'm talking about. I know what I've been doing, and I've taken a sabbatical because of this concussion, but I'm ready to come back. So stay connected to me. Let me know what you want, because it feels time to bring what I can bring, the knowledge and experience I've had in my 60-some years, to really helping all of us wake up to the loveliness and delight and Eros of being alive. Thank you so much for listening. Leave comments below. Let me know what you're wanting. Take care. Bye-bye.